So there's an interesting addition to sort of the complaints, as it were, the plaints, to use the older style of English, just to be quaint. I'm not trying to pun. I'm just having fun. Um, of this question of AI used to cheat in a broad sense seems to sort of rhyme and echo with what Nietzsche is doing in his Truth and Lies in an Extra Moral sense, um, where he gets into the problem of the sort of empirical metonymy on um, um, autonomy usually means some kind of transfer of meaning, like a metaphor. All the world is stage. It's like we're always on stage. Oh, how do you interpret that, etc., etc. But metonymy just means it's sort of more complex what's happening with the transfer of meaning. With the first one, the notion of a stage is being thrown into life, and then we have to kind of try to interpret it. In other ones, we could throw more emotions in and create a metonymic situation for the mind. And then, so we get this situation of what we have is AI being interpreted as any kind of sort of attack on the current understanding of how things should be done. So the people are not quite sure how they should do things because somebody's challenged whether or not it's legal for the DMV in California to put almost as much emphasis on the Spanish language as on the English language, even though that's not a federal law. Or there could always be somebody could put pressure on some point which seems to be half legitimate, and this happens in endless number of ways. And then, what if somebody has an AI, artificial intelligence program, which constantly seeks for this type of stuff, and then in a complex way of how to exploit it, like just on sort of analogy with some cheap scam, like you open a bank account, you put 10 you pretend 10 checks have been deposited in the bank account from some kind of parking scam that you have going. You're claiming that to be collecting parking tickets, and you set up a front company, and then you send in all the money to the bank account. And on the analogy of some cheap scam like that, where then you write checks and cash them in on the notion that there's been money deposited in that account. Some kind of scam like that, you get these ideas of AI can show how to manipulate the current way things are done, so managers and banks, so people that have to do things more or less by rote get confused. We get this question where AI becomes, in multiple dimensions, it doesn't add up to any moral questions which have been asked in the past, and then it's not even clear if they're really analogous to the questions asked in the Summa Theologica or in Averroes or in any other text. So there are apparently sovereign questions, the questions that have to be decided by the as exceptions to the current rules, because the situation has proven to be different than it initially appeared to. I think this whole raising of this aspect of how AI raises multiple questions like this is deserving of further investigation. One particular area is you could get people that were similar to the division between engineers and mathematicians. Mathematicians are interested in the actual questions. Engineers are just interested in whether the calculator can function. You have a function, and that means for the engineer, you can press a button and it gives you a specific number. That's a function. You have a function for the mathematician, that means God knows what. Mathematics. It's more. It's wiser about the issue. It knows more about the issue. The engineer is just doing whatever can be done with it. Yeah, so likewise, you have this type of question between somebody who's just doing whatever and somebody who's trying to actually look at the question going in these other dimensions has just